What's going on, guys? So today we're going to talk about how to be an officer and one of the ways that you can go about doing that, which is the Green to Gold program. So this is going to be somewhat of a little mini series that I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to talk about the Green to Gold program, I'm going to talk about ROTC, and I'm going to talk about OCS. So I'm going to make three separate videos. This first one is going to be the Green to Gold program. Reason I'm doing that first is basically because the Green to Gold program incorporates ROTC. So if I cover this and then the next video I cover ROTC, then that is the second half of this video basically, and then OCS I'll finish that one off. So I get questions about how to be an officer in the Army. I'm on my way to being an officer. People will ask me, like, what did I do? What was my route that I took and am taking right now to be an officer? And the Green to Gold program isn't what I'm doing. I'm basically just straight up doing the ROTC program. But the Green to Gold program, in a nutshell, is something that people who are going active duty on the enlisted side can enroll in, apply for, and you will go to school to finish your degree and then enroll in the ROTC program, finish your degree, finish ROTC, and you'll commission as an officer. So in a nutshell, that's basically what the Green to Gold program is. So there's two other things that I actually honestly didn't know, because I did do a little research because I want to get my facts straight, and I'm going to read you guys off the actual requirements that you have to have in order to go into the Green to Gold program. But there's also two other options that you can do in the Green to Gold program. The first one is the active duty option. So Green to Gold active duty option. The other one is the Green to Gold scholarship option, and you have the Green to Gold non-scholarship option. So basically the difference here, for the Green to Gold active duty option, you have to actually be active duty and you are going to need 2 years of school already completed. So basically for this one is you're going to be an active duty soldier, enlisted, you've already done some college, and you're only going to need 2 years to complete your degree. So if that is you, then you can qualify for the active duty option. There's gonna be different pay benefits to each one of these options. So I'm gonna give you the general one over, and then I'll go into the requirements later. But for the scholarship option, this is an option for those of you who have more than 2 years left to complete your degree. So maybe you only did 1 year of college, you enlisted, and you want to do the Green to Gold program. Well, you're going to go in this scholarship option because you're not going to be able to finish your degree in 2 years. Now the difference in pay here real quick is going to be where the active duty option gives you active duty pay for those 2 years. The scholarship option is going to give you a scholarship, so you're not going to get active duty pay while you're finishing out your degree. So you can have, 3 years left for your degree, or you can have no time on your degree, so 4 years for the scholarship, and you will apply for the 3-year scholarship or the 4-year scholarship respectively to what you are wanting to do. And the Green to Gold program non-scholarship option, that is basically going to be for active duty soldiers who wants to enroll in the Green to Gold program, but they want to get off of active duty. The first two options, the active duty option and the scholarship option, those are going to be options where you stay on active duty. And I feel like I said options there a whole bunch of times. The non-scholarship option is where you are an active duty soldier, but once you commission as an officer, you want to be in the reserves or the National Guard. So now this is going to be the part of the video where I guess it's going to be a little bit more boring, because I'm going to be reading you guys off some of the benefits and the requirements that you need for each one of these things. Now, the reason I'm reading it off here and not trying to fake it like I know everything is because I don't want to mess up, and I want to give you guys the proper information. So for the active duty option for the Green to Gold program, so if you enlisted, you are wanting to stay active duty and you have at least 2 years of college already, so you only have to do 2 years. Some of the benefits that you're going to have, as I said before, is with this option you are going to receive active duty pay when you're going to school. So that's like a really big benefit. So it's like you have, you're getting pay, the normal base pay, as if you were active duty, but you're going to school, which is a really good deal in my opinion. You're also going to get the GI Bill, obviously, if you qualify for that, or the post 9/11 GI Bill. Normal PCS entitlements. So if you're going to, I guess live somewhere, you're going to live there, you're going to get, money for your housing. And then it says here leadership training, responsibility, and whatnot. But that's basically the financial benefits for this. Now, what are the requirements to actually apply for this option for the Green to Gold program? Number one is you have to be a U.S. citizen, and this is non-waiverable. I'm getting this straight off of the GoArmy.com website, so it says you can't get a waiver if you are not a U.S. citizen and you want to go through this Green to Gold program. You have to be under the age of 30 at the time of your commission. So if you are 29 years old and you're wanting to be an officer, well, you're going to be doing 2 years of this training. So at the time you commission, you're going to be older than 30. So this isn't going to apply to you. So you have to be below 30 to actually commission, or below 30 whenever you actually commission in order to qualify for this, right? You're going to have a minimum of 2 years of active duty service. And then it says here that at the time of the application, as well as 3 months of active duty time for every 1 month of specialized training. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not 100% sure what this is saying, but what I'm thinking is for your 2 years of active duty time, that can't just be all just like AIT, right? So you can't have just an AIT that was a year long and that count as your 2 years. You're going to have 3 months of actual active duty time for every month of training time that you had. So if this was my case, my AIT was about 5 weeks or so, I believe. So that would mean that for those 5 weeks of my active duty time, I'm going to have to complete 15 months of real active duty time in order to couple that and actually count towards my 2 years. You're gonna need a GT score above a 110. So as I covered in the previous video about the ASVAB, for my GT score, I got a 91 for the ASVAB and a 124 for the GT score, and we kind of figured out that if you get around just like a solid 80, 79-ish, you should get a GT score around that 110 mark, okay? You're also going to have passed the PT test in the last 6 months, so you can't be failing your PT and then trying to be an officer. That's not going to work out. For your previous 2 years of college credits, it's going to have a GPA of 2.5 or higher. So if you did college before, your GPA can't be lower than 2.5 in order for you to apply for this. And then this is where it really gets into the requirements where you actually have to do something, okay? So this is across the board for all of the options. So for the active duty, for the scholarship, and for the non-scholarship, you're gonna have to do all of these things right here. And I'm gonna read them off, and they're pretty self-explanatory, except I'll explain maybe an acronym or two. So you're gonna need a letter of acceptance from your school of choice, so the Army ROTC program at what school you wanna go to, you need a letter of acceptance from them. You need a letter of acceptance from the PMS of that Army ROTC battalion. So the PMS is the Professor of Military Science. He is the head guy of that Army battalion, that Army ROTC battalion. So he is a person that's going to need to write you a letter of acceptance. You need to be favorable national agency check. Not sure what that is. You need to be medically qualified. You need to be eligible to re-enlist. You need to not be a conscientious objector, which means that you must be able to actually have a weapon. And then you can't have any more than 3 dependents, including your spouse. That is waiverable apparently, so if you have 4 kids or something, that you should be able to get a waiver for that. But that is the benefits and the requirements for the active duty Green to Gold program. Now for the scholarship Green to Gold program, I'm not going to run through everything, guys. It's mostly the same, but I'm going to let you guys know the benefit differences with this program. Number one, like I said, you're not going to be getting active duty pay if you are doing the scholarship. You're going to be getting a scholarship which goes towards your tuition or your room and board support. You'll also get extra money for books and supplies and stuff like that. How much money that is, I'm not sure. You will just have to, talk to your PMS and maybe ask them what the actual thing is, the amount of money you're gonna get. You're gonna get a monthly stipend for 10 months out of the year. So if you're in school 10 months, because it doesn't count the 2 summer months, you're gonna get a monthly stipend which depends on your MS level, so the level in ROTC that you're in. So for seniors, which I'm a senior in ROTC, it's a $500 a month stipend, tax-free. Each year prior is $50 less. So a junior, it's $450 a month. A sophomore, it's $400 a month. and a freshman in the ROTC program is $350 a month, and that is tax-free, right? So those are the benefits, and the only requirement difference for this one is going to be that you have to be 31 at the age of your commission. I'm assuming the reason it's 31 instead of 30 like before is they might be assuming that you have 3 or 4 years of college to go through, so they're giving you, I guess, an extra year of room to play with. And finally, the non-scholarship Green to Gold program, the big difference here is it says that you have to have less than 10 years of active duty service if you want to transfer over. There's also a couple differences in the GPA. So if you have, your high school GPA, that's going to need to be a 2.5 or greater. So that's really the big difference there. Any other specific questions that you guys have, you can, ask me. You can leave your comments down below for me. You can send me messages on Instagram or anything. But if you really want to do the Green to Gold program, if you're looking into doing that, like if you're about to enlist into the military, and you want to do the Green to Gold program, but you're obviously not going to do it right now, you can still go ahead and talk to the ROTC program that you would like to go to. You can go ahead and get, a letter of acceptance for them, I'm sure. Or at least just begin the process of communicating with them, getting to know them, talk to the PMS, actually figure out some of the requirements, and you ask them, hey, I'm enlisting, after 2 years of being active duty, then you can begin the process of that actually applying for the Green to Gold program. So if you already know those steps ahead of time, you don't have to wait until 2 years comes around. You're active duty, so you're busy, you might be deployed at the time or something. So my advice to any of you who are actually wanting to do the Green to Gold program and you want to do it, then try to get things sorted out. At least begin communicating with some PMS. It doesn't even have to be the one that you really plan on going to. Just talk to them, email them, call them, and just get some of your questions answered more specifically than I could actually answer myself. Now, as I said before, the Green to Gold program basically sends you to a school that has an ROTC program. So you are basically, once you actually leave active duty and you go to school to begin the ROTC program, then you are doing everything completely the same that every other just plain old ROTC cadet like myself is going to be doing before they commission. There's not going to be any differences whatsoever. The only difference is people might look at you and be like, oh, hey, he's prior service and whatnot, but you will be doing the same requirements. You're going to be required to do the exact same things as everybody else doing the ROTC program. And so that's why in another video, so this video is not 30-40 minutes long, I'm going to talk about the ROTC program, kind of what that's like, applying for that in general, some of the requirements and stuff you have for that, and then maybe some other benefits that you have just because you're in the ROTC program. So for the 10% of you right now who are watching this video at the very end, thank you very much. But I hope you got something out of this. If you did, hit that like button. That would be awesome. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, comment section down below, or if you really want to get in touch with me, the links are right here for my Instagram and Snapchat. You definitely can get on there and hit me up. I'll for sure reply to you. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later.